Okay, we're on again. Now, we have to see if we can get our chat window fixed. Click on that. Pop out. Okay. Oh, close that. Okay, it's working now.
Yes, reviewers. What are their names?
Good evening. Autumn Girl Acres, Dulu Woohoo, and Rubino 3. Jen, the nurse, the Toasted Rabbit, and Jimmy Pons from Austin, Texas. Hey guys, how you doing? Little buddy and I have been trying to get on for, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes. I don't know if you guys got any pop-ups or messages saying that we were live in the last 10-15 minutes, but we were on. Everything was streaming on our end, but nothing was really working. Like nobody was coming on, and our connection was really bad. So I don't know what was going on there, but we finally have it fixed, obviously, because everyone's showing up.
We have some people coming. We have lots of viewers coming fast.
And Charlie Fitzgerald is here. Charlie is my friend back in Atlanta who did our chickshaw automation design. And if you have any interest in learning more about homestead automation and different projects you can do, Charlie has a website, iotfoundry.com. I think there's a hyphen between the T and the foundry, so iot-foundry.com. If you leave out the hyphen, I think it auto-directs there anyway. So you check out Charlie's site there.
Who's next?
All right, so looks like Rose is here tonight. Rose, you are, I think, like a moderator for just about every other channel, so I'm gonna see if I can make you a moderator here.
You mean Madison's mommy?
No, different Rose. From Wholesome Roots down in Georgia. Add moderator. Okay, I hope you don't mind, Rose. If you don't want to moderate, I can knock it off. I can take it back off, but I figure you're like a professional moderator, so we can add you as the moderator. Not that we need one. Our audience is awesome. So
thumbs up, everybody.
We haven't had issues yet with that. So as everyone's rolling in here, we didn't have a whole lot. Nothing
Is
like.
Chloe in here yet?
No, we didn't have anything earth-shattering to share, but actually, little buddy, I think you're cut off a little here. I think that's better. But I did want to let you guys know about a few things. The first of which, Kristen from Missoula, Montana is here. Missoula, she's very close to Paul Wheaton, though.
Oh, I like Paul Wheaton.
Yeah. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, so things that are going on, little updates here. First off, I sent out last weekend our first email update thing that I started doing. I guess a couple weeks ago, I put out an announcement in response to getting messages from several people about no longer getting notified of our YouTube videos as they're being published. Normally, YouTube's supposed to send you some kind of notice if you have it selected to do that, but apparently they've not been doing that for a lot of people on our channel. And I've heard from other people with channels who have had similar issues. So what I'm doing is I'm going to start sending out regular emails letting you know about different videos and things going on. So in case you forgot to come back and check our channel manually for videos, that you'll get a little reminder in your inbox. And I'm, of course, not going to be spamming you guys. I barely have enough time as it is to sit down and type an email out. So I'm definitely not going to be overdoing it. But if you guys are interested in that, if you head on over to our website, grassfedhomestead.com, there's a place on the home page on the right. If you scroll down just a little bit, there's an Instagram feed. Okay, so there's the menu bar. Then under that, I think is the Instagram feed. And right under that is an email sign up. And you can just.
Here yet?
Hey, buddy. No more asking about that.
Let me know when he is.
Okay. So you can sign up on the email through there, and I'll send you some notices once in a while if you guys don't mind. So I just wanted to remind everyone about that. And then while you're while you're at our website, you can see that we've updated a little bit. It used to be I guess kind of clunky and bad, and some of my pictures weren't working, had some kind of issues. I'm my own web developer, if you couldn't tell. So we've had some issues with it, but I've redesigned it to where we have a blog feed on the homepage now. Originally, the website was more about managing local sales for selling the lambs, piglets, the broiler chickens we raised last summer. I was trying to run the sales through there and run it kind of like an online shop, which is how I love to do business. I wish local farmers around here did that. So I thought, hey, I will do it. I will set the example. And of course, no one uses it. No one liked it. Everyone just wants to write me a check in person or cash or whatever. No one wanted to do it online.
Who sent those teddy bears?
I don't know, buddy. Let's see. That's Rich. Rich Navani. I'm not butchering that, but Rich sent some teddy bears, presumably for you. And Jen, the nurse, says she likes Paul as well, little buddy.
He's in here now?
Oh, let me catch up on. I got live notifications though. Oh, I guess Rose is saying that she's getting a live notification. At least that's something. That's good. Versus the standard YouTube published video notifications. Okay, so back to the website. So Ashley is a writer. She used to write code and programming and stuff like that, but for years and years, like long since before I even met her, she's been writing just as a hobby level novels and such. And she's made a few it's her website too. She's made a few posts on the website. I'm not much for writing like she is, but she really likes to sit down and write. So she's made a few blog posts, and she's committed to making a few more. She enjoys writing them. Recently, she put one out about making paleo cassava flour blueberry muffins, but then she also has some more, some different ones. Like she wrote it for New Year's, like kind of a post on resolutions and her take on things like that, and some of her goals or personal goals for the year. And
I think one viewer only left.
I didn't publish it right away. It's at my inbox. You emailed it to me, so I'd have a digital copy of it, and I kind of forgot about it. And then I was like, oh yeah. So, and mid-February, I wound up putting it on there finally. But there's just some things on there like that, and I think we can expect to see a few more like that from her, at least we hope. And anyway, so basically, we're trying to make the website a little bit more of a destination, a little bit more going on there, rather than just a place to buy meat from us locally, because no one was doing that. So in addition, we also have a tab for all of our videos on there. Every time we post one on YouTube, it auto publishes on our site. And what else? Yeah, so just for example, our 2 videos ago, I did a video on what was it? I forgot what it was about.
Selling, maybe?
No, it wasn't. Yeah. Selling, exactly. Thank you, little buddy. Selling the meat. So we were selling the meat. How we do that and comply with regulations as far as USDA inspection and such. And last summer, I was looking into getting my custom exemption, custom butchery license. So I went through the paperwork and all that, and I have copies of that. So I thought it'd be a cool supplement to the video to have a blog post. There's not a lot of information in the blog post itself. You got to watch the video, but there's some documents that supplement the video that I wouldn't otherwise be able to share. So you can go in there and click to see what the USDA application is. It's very, very simple. It's nothing like trying to get a USDA inspection permit. It's a very simple process. So I wanted to kind of illustrate that, but also it goes through in a lot of detail. It's a 4-page handout that the USDA sent me when I was going through the application process to, well, basically just all the information you could want to know about custom meat exemptions. So So again, just if there's supplemental stuff like that to videos, we'll be trying to put that in blog posts on the website. So I just wanted to encourage you guys to go check out grassfedhomestead.com. It's not super active yet, but we're trying to make it a little bit more of a destination. Let's see if we got any comments here that need addressing.
That's 5 people on the list.
There are.
Yeah. I wish Paul Amber was in here right now.
Okay. Dulu Woohoo is saying click the little bell next to the subscribe button and you'll get a notification. I think that's what they've done, but they're still not getting a notification. I think that's the issue there. And some people are. Some people are saying it's fine. So I don't really understand how that all works, but I know there's nothing I can do about it other than to try to let you guys know in a different way.
I wish I got to talk to Pauline.
Jen, the nurse, is saying her feed is choppy. It might be on our end. I don't know. Can you guys let us know? Is our signal good? We had internet issues the first time we tried to log on and it wasn't working. So if you could just let me know if you can hear and see us all right. It might be on our end, Jen. I hope not. Michael Stevens, glad I caught this. Hey, from California. I'm assuming that's California. Maybe it's Canada. I don't know. I think it's California. Dan and little buddy. The Essential Mountain Homesteading is here. That would be Josh Pilch.
Hi, Josh. I hope your kids are doing so good.
He's saying, little buddy.
Little buddy.
Little buddy has got to be pretty good friends with
Coin Hope.
The Essential Mountain Homesteading children. He enjoys them
Coin Hope.
greatly. Let's see, the things here scrolling.
Oh, Josh, I like our kids.
Did your decision to do a homestead have anything to do with faith? From Rudy. I think so. So all of it came about, and I've shared this story on various podcasts and on our channel in some places about it really started when Ashley was pregnant with little buddy.
Yeah.
Hold on, don't interrupt, buddy. And I kind of had this, I call it like a spiritual prompting where I had this awakening essentially that, we were bringing this new life into the world and I needed to take the responsibility of that very seriously. And I kind of got led down this path to being more responsible for providing our own needs. Of course, in a modern society, I think sometimes it's glamorized the thought of completely living off the land, 100% providing for all your needs, and that isn't. Although that'd be really cool on some levels, it's not realistic to graze the amount of animals that we have over the winter. Or not graze them over the winter, but to have them over the winter, we need a lot of hay, which means we need to be buying that from other people. So I believe in like a community interconnectedness, everyone kind of working together in a community to provide the community's needs. I really think that's a cool concept for homesteading. So when I say that, provide for our own needs, I don't mean like in this isolationist sense. I just don't think that's completely realistic. No, that's not all right, buddy. You just let me finish. Don't interrupt, okay? Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. So yeah, we were led down this path and to take more responsibility with our son coming in the world by taking control of our food supply in ways that we can and just taking on more responsibility in that way. I hope that kind of answers that.
In Georgia.
Let me see. I lost our place here. It keeps scrolling. So, internet is great from Josh. Thank you, Josh. Rose says we're clear. Feed is great from Rudy. Okay, let me catch back up here. Sorry, guys. Jen says she's in Georgia too, just like wholesome roots. We were from Georgia. We moved here from Atlanta. Little buddy was born there. I spent.
Yeah, I've been here longer than Georgia.
Yeah, I spent the majority of my life there, and Ashley was born there. Yeah. Though she lived in North Carolina for a while too, growing up. Mm-hmm. Okay, I found we're back in our place here. Okay, feed is good. Feed is good. The picture freezes once in a while, but overall not bad. Okay. We are Rocco. We are just starting our homestead. Do you have something that keeps you motivated? You guys are a huge motivation. Having the YouTube channel is a sense of accountability. It keeps me accountable in a way to you guys, because I make commitments sometimes to do things, and I feel when I make commitments, I'm very compelled to honor them, and especially when I'm making them to other people, when it's not just myself, when there's somebody else that is on the receiving end of it, it's really important for me to honor that. So but I guess starting the YouTube channel was a way of doing that, in that I made this commitment. We're going to start this journey. We're going to do it. And having that in place does really keep me motivated to keep going and keep pushing myself to grow and expand things that are going on here in a reasonable manner. We're not doing things just because of the video, but it keeps me from getting complacent and not moving in the right direction. We have a long way to go to get where we need to go. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's been a huge motivating factor. The other thing is really too, little buddy, and yeah, we set out on this journey to really increase our quality of food was a big part of it. So being able to have our own food that we're generating here, knowing what goes into it, and knowing that it's nutrient dense, it's going to be the money can't buy this elsewhere. Nobody is raising lamb like we are. Nobody is raising pigs. We have a lot of fabulous producers in our area, but nobody is doing everything organic to the organic letter that I am, and sometimes in some cases beyond. So I just feel like money can't buy this elsewhere. So having that is really valuable, and knowing I can go out to our freezer in our garage right now and just grab one of our broilers we raised, or some pork chops from one of our hogs, or lamb chops. The beef isn't ours, we didn't raise that, but those kind of things keep me motivated. Having those end results from the previous season to carry us through until the next is just this constant source of motivation. Like right now, I'm cooking a beef dinner, so I guess it technically doesn't count, but I have some beef, what do you call it? Neck bones.
Neck bones.
Not braising, but kind of stewing in making a stock right now, and then I have a chuck arm roast in the oven. Yes, the cow or the steer that they came from was probably 5 miles up the road from us, and it's certified organic, 100% grass-fed and finished. Totally awesome stuff. It's not from us, but the point is, if it were pork, chicken, or lamb, it would have come from us, and I get to make this really nice meal and serve a really nice food to my son, so, and my wife when she's not traveling.
People arrived.
So those are big motivating factors for us. I hope that answers that question. And again, we lost my place. And Rose, if I'm missing any questions here, feel free to repost them so I can catch them, and you can highlight them. That would be good. Okay, I'm seeing Jen is saying we added Dorper sheep to our farm because of your influence. That's awesome. That's another motivating factor. That's, of course, a little bit more on the YouTube end of things, but I hear that stuff all the time from you guys. I get emails and comments on Facebook pretty regularly, and it makes my day every time I read one that people are adding sheep, or they're changing the way they manage their sheep, because, and not just sheep too, you know, chickens and pigs. I get comments about that too, but mainly sheep, and how the channel has impacted them, and that is just absolutely amazing. When Ashley's traveling, I'll usually cut and paste some of it and send it to an email to her so she can kind of share it too. Because it really means a lot. So thank you for sharing that, Jen. Dorper sheep are excellent. Some of ours are crossed Dorper, and they're really, really good they thrive in arid environments, like scrubby kind of desert environments. I know, Jen, you're in Georgia, so you don't have that, but they will do fine there anyway. Like the more humid areas, like Georgia, Katahdin's, St. Croix, they have more of that humidity tolerance, and they're less susceptible to the parasites that are more prevalent with those humid climates, but your Dorpers will do great there too. Food forest permaculture. Good evening, Grassfed. How you guys doing?
Good evening to you.
I love food forestry. Rudy, thanks for the answer. Your channel has been a real inspiration to my family and me as we start our own homestead here in Western PA, Pennsylvania. Awesome. Oh, cool. We got a super chat coming in. Let's see. That's from Lisa Van Valkenburg. Hope I'm saying that right, Lisa. Hey, Grassfed, how are things in the banana belt? I assume you're being a little bit sarcastic there. The banana belt. Of Idaho, the banana belt is actually considered the Lewiston, Idaho area. They actually call it the banana belt down there, which is just as there's debate. It's a hot debate in Idaho culture. Is Lewiston in North Idaho? I say it is. It's right on the edge, coming into the Panhandle. Is it in the Panhandle, or is it just south of the Panhandle? I say it is, because it's in the Pacific time zone. I think that's the line of demarcation for us. But anyway, we are not associated with that climate zone. Lewiston has the Columbia. Is it the Columbia River? Gosh, no, the Snake River, which I think meets up with the Columbia River somewhere. Anyway, it's the furthest inland seaport in the United States. So yes, Idaho has a seaport because the river goes right through out to the Pacific.
What's a seaport?
It's where boats can come in from the ocean and unload stuff and load stuff. It's a dying town. I think the seaport is closed. It's not doing well, but it's still there, I think, which is really cool. But it's where Lewis and Clark actually came through. So there's Lewiston, and Clarkston's next town over on the Washington side.
You mean in the purchases in Louisiana?
The Louisiana Purchase in 1803?
Yeah.
Right, homeschool. So yeah, we're definitely not in the banana belt. It was really snowing hard all day yesterday. It has not snowed today though. The sun was out, and there was a lot of drippingness going from our icicles off the roof. So I think we were a little above freezing today, which was good.
Last night.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate the live chat. That's awesome. And I lost our place again. Okay.
So. Oh no.
Pedro Pineda wants to know how we deal with negative feedback. Okay, so this is a really good question, because I just talked about all the positive feedback, and the positive feedback outweighs the negative feedback 10 to 1, maybe even more. Definitely more. It's definitely more than that. Sorry, 10 to 1 is a little bit not right. But the negative ones, like, I get some really, really harsh stuff. In fact, I just got one. I can't even read it on here. It's so vulgar. But basically, the contributor, the person who wrote it, wants me to or suggests that I hang myself with hemp. Don't know why. Because I bought Blue, our livestock guardian dog, and I will say, the most negative energy I get is around issues with Blue, and I don't really know why that is. I guess maybe on the broader spectrum, there are fewer people who identify with livestock than there are with dogs, because everyone can pretty much identify with a dog. Maybe that's it. But I get some really nasty hate. It's unbelievable the things that people say. And I definitely can't. The vulgarity is pretty ripe. But how do I deal with it? I was just talking about this with Josh from Essential Mountain Homesteading the other day, actually, how we deal with it. And generally, like, not always. Some of the hate comments are really short, but a lot of them are long. And what I think about is how kind of sad it is that this person just, unless they're like a super fast typer, like Ashley types, I don't know, like 220 words a minute or something. She's like crazy fast typer.
Yeah.
Unless you're like that, you probably spent a long time just typing that really hateful thing out. That you took time out of your day to watch our video and then spend even more time to tell me how much you want me to die and horrible death and all this other stuff.
But let's not talk about this.
Yeah, not that we don't need to get about that, but I just think about, wow, what is it with this person's life that they are so hurt that they're, if they're so hateful, why are they taking so much time to write this out? And you don't see these comments. They don't make it. They get filtered through a spam. I still get notified of some of them. Some of them I don't get notified, I guess.
Mommy's letters comes out slow.
But they go through a filter for language. I just don't want my channel to be a place where people are going to go and see foul language. I leave the critical comments. Like, no one's getting their message deleted or blocked. It can be stern and critical, and I've gotten plenty of those, and I leave those comments. But when you cross the line of vulgarity or committing acts of criminal acts, which is basically death threats and stuff like that, you go.
What's a criminal?
So what I do is I actually go in. There's an option for me to block you from leaving comments on my channel. So I just do that. That's how I deal with it. I see it. I think how sad it is that this person is going through whatever they're going through. And then I say bye-bye, because I can't have that on my channel. And that's how I deal with it. And there have been some that have cut deep, like that weren't even vulgar or violent. Some were just otherwise just hurtful, that have lingered throughout the day. And there's one, I'm not going to share it, but there's one I can still even quote it to you that came in last year, just because it kind of stuck in my head. So that happens once in a while, but for the most part, I just, like, I really do just brush it off. I just look at it, I'm like, man, I'm sorry for this person, and ban them, they're gone. And like, maybe they're leaving like hateful messages every day after that, but I never know because they're blocked. But for the most part, it doesn't stick with me, and it's good. Like with Josh, I was able to share a few of them with him, and we can kind of laugh about it, because some of them are so ridiculous and so extremely hateful that they're almost comical. So we can laugh about it, and that's another way I kind of deal with it. Little buddy is tapping my shoulder. Hold on, let me mute it. All right, and we're back. He just wanted to say hi to Josh and his children again, but we've already done that, so we're good. The toasted rabbit, I share your views on that. For me, it's prolonging the time I have with my husband. I'm not sure what that's in context to. Okay. Faye wants to know, how do you deal with mortality on the homestead? That's been rough. So we lost some piglets. Those are I take that back. 2016, we lost one chicken. We believe it was coccidiosis that
I think it was 2017.
No, it was 2016. We brought home some chickens in the fall. One of them was sick. It was like the day we got it, so it wasn't anything we did wrong. It was just one of those things.
Which one was sick?
It was just a little. I think it was an Americana. Anyway, so we had that one. Then last summer, and this was one I get a lot of hate feedback on too, when we lost the piglets. I get a lot of critical messages about that, and also get a lot of hateful ones about that. The critical ones are basically critical of our pig structures, our shelters we had. Our shelters, and I give the people that leave those comments some wiggle room in that, because a lot of people are coming in, they're just seeing that one video, they don't know our channel, they don't know our setup and everything like that, and they just see like the tiny hut that all the pigs decided to go pile in, even though there were 3 huts, and one of them was like, how long is it? It's like 8 foot long. I mean, I crawled into it. Little buddy was in it with me, and the pigs were in it one day when they were birthing. I was in there with the camera filming, like, and there was plenty of room. There was not a room issue, but everyone was giving me grief about it. So what happened, for you guys that didn't see it, basically, it was a farrowing hut. We had 3 of our sows farrowed pretty much at the same time, and there was a really strong cold front that came in with a heavy thunderstorm, and it was just pouring rain, like, unbelievably. And I went out there at midnight to go check on them. I was worried about the piglets, and sure enough, like, all the pigs, 3 sows of gilt, all full grown, were in there with all of their piglets in one little farrowing hut. And there were some piglets that were left out, and they were just soaking wet. They couldn't figure out how to get in, and I picked them up and put them all in there together. And then the next day, one of them had been smothered because there were so many in one spot. And then later on, we lost another one, hypothermia, basically. That was really hard because we spent a long time
inside
in the bathroom with the heaters going and everything, and we still lost it. And
yeah, feeding it milk, and one time it just my food's now.
Yeah, so
and it died.
So
sad, really.
Then there was Penny the llama. We believe
she died.
Meningeal worms was the likely cause of that, which basically she died. If that's what it was, she ate a snail or a slug off a tree or something like that, got infected with this weird parasite that attacks the brain and spinal tissue, and again, nothing we could have done about it. So how do we deal with that? Well,
and she got hurt and died.
I don't know really how to answer how we basically it's just really sad. Like, I kind of mope around for a day or two, and then, like, I get back to it. I get generally, for example, with the pigs, we lost them in the afternoon, or the one we discovered in the morning, then we lost the other one in the afternoon, and it was like, that was really hard and it stunk. But then I had to go do evening chores, and I go back out with the animals, and there are all these other beautiful, vibrant animals just full of life, that are excited to see me when I have food for them, and moving them. And so I guess what I'm getting at is just getting back in it, knowing that there are all these other animals out there that still depend on me, and I got to go out there and do it regardless of how I feel. And that kind of snaps me out of the funk, I guess.
You know what? Penny just got infected and just got really sad.
Okay. You already said that, buddy. Gosh. Sorry, I'm losing my place here again. Oh, Rose, I'm seeing we have our first official what's the word? Troll. Is that it?
What's a troll?
Somebody who came on here and left a bunch of messages, and Rose deleted them. So thank you, Rose. I guess they're inappropriate, or I don't know what was going on there. I missed them, but yeah, good thing we added Rose, huh?
Good thing Rose deleted them. Good okay. Rose.
All right, let's see if we can. Michael wants to know, why did you choose North Idaho for your home farmstead? Extreme climate change from Georgia. Not as extreme as you'd think, and really. The change was way for the better. No offense to Rose and Jen, who are living in Georgia still, but man, I don't think I would be wanting to do this lifestyle there. That was a huge part of us moving. So when we realized we wanted to start doing this, it was around 2011. I quickly identified like I'm not doing this in Georgia. It is just the humidity is ridiculous. The summers are just I hated the summers in Georgia my whole life.
I hated the tornadoes.
Nobody didn't like the tornadoes. So
because
we
of
gardened there, and
summer.
we'd walk outside to spend 10 minutes watering and stuff, and come back with like welts of mosquito bites all over us and just drenched in sweat. It's just not a pleasant experience. Hats off to you guys who are doing it. I mean, I'm just heat intolerant, I guess. So Ashley and I were both very, very consistent with our position on wanting to, if we were going to live this lifestyle, do it somewhere where we're comfortable with a milder summer. So that pretty much took out everything east of the Mississippi as far as humidity wise, and then some, right? So we were looking at western states. And then from there, it was like, well, what is affordable taxes wise that takes out California, and what is favorable with homeschool regulations, and that takes out Oregon and Washington. And yeah, I think Washington's okay, but we looked at homeschool regulations, and Idaho, boom, is like there's like the home, what is it called? The national. No, don't interrupt, please. It's the Homeschool Legal Defense Fund, where they rank them, and I think they're like Oklahoma or something like that is ranked #1, but I don't know why, because there's no way that you can get a better setup for homeschool than in Idaho. There's zero regulation about it, other than there's regulation in that there's a law saying you can do it, and you don't have to tell anyone about it. You don't have to report to a school district. We, as the state, trust you, the parents, to provide the education your child needs and to seek the resources available to you if you want. And it's completely awesome. They're not in their business. That was huge. So that's a factor. The other things that started eliminating states was the extreme weather, though. Getting back to your question, Michael. Wyoming, Montana. I know we have someone in here from Missoula that chimed in just a little bit ago.
Probably in, I think.
No, he's not here. Yeah, so Wyoming, Colorado, Montana, like really, really crazy winters. Like those are extreme winters because the climate is more continental versus maritime. So we're not maritime, but we're close enough to the Pacific Ocean, and just the way the Rocky Mountains, we're just west of the Rockies. So the really cold Arctic blasts that come down from the Arctic into Canada tend to get pushed to the east of the Rockies, which is Montana, southeast Idaho, because the bottom portion of Idaho sticks out like that, and the Rockies go right through there. So everything east of there into Wyoming and such just have really, really harsh winters. And Josh from Essential Mountain Homesteading can verify this. They were in southeast Idaho, and like -30, -40 temps, really, really brutal snow and winters down there. So up in the Panhandle where we selected the north, was mainly because of climate. We actually have a milder winter up here than they do down south, because again, the orographical effects of the mountain, and we get the Pacific, that warmer, moist weather coming in off the Pacific Northwest. So it was really like this perfect sweet spot of affordability, government regulations, climate, and there was an airport, Spokane Airport. That was a big thing. Like we needed an airport because Ashley travels for work,
and it's a very long way from here, right?
Yeah, but it's drivable. So
like 100 miles, 90. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, you don't know, buddy.
Maybe 50.
Yeah. So there are city amenities here. It's not like completely in the middle of nowhere or anything like that.
But I wouldn't say 1 mile. I wouldn't say that.
But you keep interrupting me and I lose my train of thought, so try not to do that anymore, okay?
can't. I just want to talk.
You just want to talk, okay. So anyway, so those were really big factors. Oh, but we didn't want to be in a major population center either, like around Seattle. Is the whole area around there is just, it's like Atlanta. I mean, just sprawl everywhere, and we just wanted to get away from that. So population density was also a factor. So when you balance all those factors out, it really, really narrowed down the pool to where we are now. So that's kind of why we chose where we chose. Rocco Arnold, your channel and Cog Hill Farm inspired us to start. Thanks for your efforts. Awesome. I assume you mean starting your own channel. That's awesome. And I think, are you, Rocco, are you you have a long history of doing butchery work? Is that the same? I may have you confused with someone else. I apologize if that's not you, but yeah, Rocco, I don't know if you want to, if that's your channel, if you're doing it under your name, or if you have a different channel name that you want to plug, I mean, you know, put a link here in the comments. I'd love for people to go check your channel out. And Cog Hill Farm, Jason from Cog Hill, he's down in Alabama, so another high humidity, really hot area. He's doing an awesome job down there. He's got a great channel. He's highly entertaining. He's very funny. He even dances. I try to dance. I don't do it on camera, but I can't dance like him. Okay, let's see. Yeah, little buddy is on a Beatles kick for sure. Doug and Stacy are in the house. What's up, Homestead homies? Hey, little buddy. Doug and Stacy said, hey, little buddy.
Hey.
Let's see. Chickawood Ranch. I'm guessing that's you, Troy, at the keyboard there. He wants to know how Poison Ivy's doing. Okay, so well, most of you guys probably know, but I had this wicked 2-month battle with Poison Ivy that officially I said I call it ended officially like February 15th. That's when it was completely devoid of it. My hands have been, don't interrupt, buddy, please. My hands have been healing since then. There was no more blisters or anything like that. But you know, my hands were still discolored on the back there. I had a lot of redness where the inflammation was, but I was dealing with that. Everything's good, lots of dry skin and that sort of thing, but overall fine until last night. I noticed, wow, my hands are kind of itchy. And I looked down, and between my fingers,
Poison Ivy,
I have a bunch of new blisters. And I have no idea this time because I've been so careful ever since I first got it. You know, I've been wearing gloves all the time outside. I'm not touching things. I'm not spreading it, and I'm not recontaminating. And I'm using disposable gloves too now. So I got Ashley ordered me a bunch of these cotton disposable gloves, so I can just keep tossing them. I don't have to worry about washing them, and maybe they don't wash all the way, and I recontaminate. So I have no idea, but I put new ointment on it. I think we're catching it really early this time, so I'm really hopeful that this is not going to get crazy and out of control again. Otherwise,
I would hate that.
Yeah, it was a miserable 2 months. It affected my performance outside. It affected, I think, the YouTube channel. There were times I wanted to do things. In fact, there are some videos like I was going to do that I didn't do, and it's affected my cooking. If you guys know, I haven't done cooking videos in a long time because they weren't a lot of people weren't interested in them, but I love to cook, and I like to cook nice meals, and I just feel like when my hands are just like nasty, I don't care how well I scrub them, it's like I don't want to be touching our vegetables and stuff and then eating them. It just kind of creeps me out. So it's really impacted
and now tortillas
dinner,
too.
That stuff like that. Yeah, so yeah, we just had Justin and Rebecca Rhodes turned us on to cassava flour. No, they're not here, but when they were visiting for the Great American Farm Tour, they brought in their flour paleo tortillas, which we never like anything processed, even with paleo or not. Like we weren't doing it. And they brought them in. We're like, special occasion. You know, we ate them, and I was like, oh, man, we shouldn't have done that because now we're kind of hooked. So I would say maybe like once every 2 weeks or so, I'll make some ground beef and tortillas with them, which we really like. But that went out the window, eaten with my hands during that time. So anyway,
Yeah.
we'll keep moving here. Hopefully, it's not going to be an issue. So
I missed touching his hands forever.
yeah, little buddy wasn't it? We weren't able. Like when we walk into the parking lot or whatever at Home Depot or wherever we're going, we didn't hold hands in the parking lot. I was like, yeah, just don't hold my hand right now.
We heard it that I heard it the wheel by my father's car had pants.
Okay, let's see. I guess I'm now in the comments where we were talking about all the hate messages because people are leaving messages about that. Lisa saying, we were considered in the Banana Bell and Kalispell. Told it was from Priest Lake to Flathead all the way down to Bitter in Salmon, Idaho. Really? I've never heard that because even like salmon, I've only seen pictures. I really want to go down there. It's everywhere I go in Idaho, it's like, oh man, the scenery is amazing. There's nowhere prettier. And then I see somewhere else, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's even prettier. And salmon's like one of those places where it just looks fantastic down there. So one of these days we're going down there and we'll bring the camera for sure. But it's pretty mountainous in there. So I don't know. I've never heard of it called that. And Kalispell definitely has a harder winter than we do for sure. Kalispell's a few hours to the east of us in the Flathead Valley there. Definitely harder winter there. So I'm not sure why that would be considered Banana Belt. I don't know.
I think I know
what
why.
Do I know?
You don't get much signal in your vehicle.
Yeah.
In your house, maybe too.
Rick is saying you're going to go sandfoin in your field this year thanks to the video. Awesome, that's great. Sandfoin, we did a video on that, which is a alternative to alfalfa, which based on the information I've read and have now experienced, I do think it's a superior forage for animals. It's been really good. Doug and Stacy, yeah, you got to have that thick skin. Yeah, absolutely right. And it's you develop the callus. Getting back to the hate in the comments and all that, you develop a callus. At first, like my first hate was on one hand, I was like, I got my first hate. You know, this means something, right? It means that, like Justin Rose talks about this. Like, you know, if you're not getting any hate, you're probably not doing something right. Like it's, you know, you're getting traction when people do that, right? Like you're doing something meaningful. So I had that, but on the other hand, I had gotten hate before, and it was hurtful. But you build a callus to that over time, for sure.
I wish I was going to watch Star Trek.
Let's see here. Sorry, guys. Oh, and okay, so Puria Dude, or I guess he's Jeff now from Bobblehead Homestead, said Tess is there. Couldn't pick a better spot, meaning North Idaho.
Tess is our breeder.
Yep. And,
she gave us our sheep.
Well, she didn't give them to us.
We buy them.
I
think most of them are called Katahdins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder why my daddy really likes Katahdin.
Christy Betts, she said her brother-in-law's in Twin Falls, Idaho, which is way south. They have a real winter there for sure. I have not been down there. I've only been I've been to Boise, and I spent a few days down there. I've not been east of Boise. I only know what I've been told by others and read, that it's pretty harsh out that way. Start from Seed Homestead says hello, hey guys. Little buddy needs a channel.
But I'm not a grown-up.
Maybe when you get a little bit older.
Yeah, maybe.
Hardiness approach. they were in Oregon, but I think you guys are in Utah now. Forgot where you moved to, but they want to know how I got poison ivy in the winter. I got it from our cat. So we had this window, not our cat, our neighbor's cat. We had snow in November. We had a few snowstorms, and then the snow went away. And December was unseasonably warm, and we had no snow for a long time up until right before Christmas. And so it looked kind of like fall all the way through that time. And the neighbor's cat comes over here to eat our organic mice. And, poison ivy grows up in trees and vines. It also grows along the ground. And the leaves die back in the winter, but the vines stay. And the vines still have the oils on them, regardless of whether it's dormant or not. So this cat is a prolific climber. She actually climbs vertically up our beams in our barn and gets up in the rafters she's up in like a second and a half, 2 seconds, boom, right up. So she could do that in a tree and get it, or go as she's going through the woods between the two properties. I've never seen it. I've never seen it here in Idaho. My dad, who lives fairly close, said he's seen it grow around some of the lake shore, but it's really not very common here, so it's really strange. Anyway, the cat came over. It got in our house. Tess was coming over to visit. She had dinner with us, and the door was open. The cat flew in, and I just picked it up, put it back outside, and I did it in my left hand, and then right there in my left hand, right in that area where the cat was cradled, next day was where I broke out the blister. So I'm pretty confident that's how I got it.
I hope he doesn't get all those blisters.
I know.
I hate them.
Colloidal silver, did it help out? Our friend, my friend Richard and his wife Sophia up at.
You mean Richard Jenkins?
He doesn't want his name out there, buddy. Don't say that. Okay. They were telling us about colloidal silver, so I tried that, and I think my reaction was so severe at that point that there wasn't a whole lot helping. The biggest help I got was the jewel weed I was using.
It goes really well with poison ivy.
Do you like goat meat? Goat meat. Jeanette Waverly wants to know. I much prefer it to lamb. Any plans to add some meat goats to your stead? I've never had goat meat. I suspect. I always considered, I always imagined it being very similar to lamb, but not. I've never had it, so I don't know for sure. But to answer your question, no, we will not be adding goats. I can't foresee a situation that would ever cause that to happen. I think if sheep were outlawed and you can't have sheep anymore, so you can only have goats if you want the small ruminant, we just wouldn't have any. I'm just not into it. Again, and Rose too, Wholesome Roots, she's the goat milk lady. I mean, I don't mean any disrespect. I mean, everyone has their own preference thing. I'm just not in the. I mean, goats are on a scale of difficulty 1 to 5. If sheep are a 2, I think goats are probably a 4.5. So I just don't want to do that.
I love being
Terry says she spent a lot of time in Lewiston, Idaho, which we were talking about earlier, and it's a gorge. So it's huge. It goes really far down into a valley. I think it's 900. It goes from I think 2,200 feet of elevation down to 900 or something. It's you're in this hole. So yeah, it gets hot down there. I visited there during the summer, and it was pretty hard, pretty hot.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Brian Kerwick saying Nick Fouch's work in the background is looking real good. Yeah, Nick Fouch did our walls, the door, and everything like that. It came out great.
Well, now we don't have to wait and stores are off gas.
Yeah, or the doors replaced. The previous people were smokers, I guess, in there, and the humidity was just right. It would start off-gassing the cigarette smoke smell.
And you know what?
No, let's move on, buddy. We don't need to talk about that anymore.
In my room, there's some.
That's enough. That's enough.
I'm going to tell them about my wives.
Okay, we don't need to talk about that right now. I scroll down and I think someone else leaves a message, and it kind of makes me lose my place. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, Nighthawk 92. Hey guys. That is Richard and Sophia, Nighthawk 92. Eric Allen, the Rhodes family is getting sheep. Are you proud? Yeah, it was really cool. I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything about this or not. I have no idea, but Justin has been getting consulting from me. He's spent some time going back and forth, asking a lot of sheep questions and seeing if it's a realistic goal for them to use them for mowing down the grass, and if it was the right move based on kind of cost analysis and all that. So we went back and forth on that, and I think they're going forward with it. So it's really cool to again have been a help to someone else and inspired them. I don't think necessarily we're the inspiration, but if I could help other people get into it, and it's going to improve their homestead, it's an honor for sure. And of course, if you guys have spent any time watching our channel, you know that the whole reason why we're doing this is because of Justin Rhodes. He had hired me to do video editing work for him when he was launching permaculture chickens, and that developed, and down the road he got me to do some other work, and we were just talking on the phone one day, and he was just telling me how the channel, they'd done it for about 6 months at that point, and it was going really, really well, and he just encouraged me to start and gave us that 30-day challenge, and without that we would have just never done this. So any way that I can give back to Justin is always an honor to me because of what he's done for us, which has been very impactful. So Jeanette says she couldn't watch the brain video. So the last video we put out was a Farmstead Meatsmith brain extraction, how to get it out of the skull, and then how to cook it video. Because she's a chicken, she didn't watch it. Well, if you work up the nerve, it's not bad. It's pretty neat, I thought. Anyway, that's why I put it out, because it's educational, and it shows you how a lot of people are eating around the world. I mean, it's just kind of in our culture that we're not eating these types of things, even in Europe. Maybe not as popular as it once was, but as recently as the last generation. So I get like my dad's generation, they were definitely a major part of their diet was offal and that kind of stuff. So it's just kind of a U.S. phenomenon that we don't get into that. And I think part of it's abundance, right? Because food is so cheap and so abundant. I didn't say good food, but food in general, right? Where it was a European peasant tradition historically, because the food was very limited, so you had to eat everything you could get access to. Terry Johnson thinks she's moving to Lewiston this summer. She can't wait. I hope you visited first. I mean, I have one bad thing to say about Lewiston. It stinks there, like literally stinks. There's a paper mill there, and the whole town smells badly. So I hope you visited and you're okay with that. Or if you're just outside of town, you probably don't have to deal with that. Hardiness approach. You're in Pennsylvania. Okay, I'm sorry. I knew you left Oregon, but I didn't. I thought you went to Utah. I'm confusing you with someone else, I guess. So let's see here. Farmall Fanatic wants to know how the lamb chops taste like. All I can say is they're fantastic. Their lamb, it's hard to describe, but it's like beef with more flavor. I mean, I don't really know how else to put it. So just try it. Okay, I'm trying to catch up here. I just got bumped again.
What is bumped?
Well, when someone puts in a message, it makes me lose my place on the chat here. I guess some people are leaving. Gotta go. It's getting late, I guess, out east. So.
Well, I really need to get.
Why would you eat brain while you have a steak sitting there? Farmall Fanatic. Well, at the time I ate the brain, there was no steak sitting there. But that was actually something that I had brought up in the class. I wasn't part of the workshop. I had asked Brandon, hey, can we harvest the brain? And Brandon is really good at knowing how to cook all that stuff too. So I thought a great opportunity to do that. So I actually asked him, he said, sure, yeah, let's do it. We actually did the testicles too. The video for that, I need to go back and look at it. I remember when I was filming that I missed some critical part of it. I think maybe with the extraction, or, you know, I don't remember what it was, but there was something about it why I never made a video about it. I'll go back and look. But and they were like scallops. They're, you know, kind of mild. You know, you add the butter and salt and seasoning, and that kind of really carries the flavor. And there's just kind of that seafoody scallop texture to it.
And
so
bread.
Yeah, there was a piece of bread with it too. That was the first time in since, what year was it? Since 2014 that I had any bread.
Well,
I figured, you know, there's, when in Rome, right? This is my opportunity to eat lamb brain. So
we decided to quit it because it's not good for anybody.
Well, it wasn't a good match for our digestive system.
Yeah, so. Because as we changed our diet to organic, so.
Willow Creek Homestead, if you pop out your chat window, yeah, it is popped out. It's just I was way up back, and there's been a lot of comments since. I'm trying to scroll through, and every time someone hits enter on a comment, it bumps it, and I lose my place.
Our house on the hill is here.
Where? I didn't see. Oh yeah. Yeah, Jake is here from White House on the Hill. What's up, Jake? Yeah, little buddy is especially after the Valentine exchange, he's pretty switched onto your logo. He picked it out on this tiny little screen of all these other logos. Farmall Fanatic, please tell me you did not eat the testicles. Yes, I did. I did. Yeah, it's one of those things like. Again, people do it all over the world, and it's a major part of a lot of people's diet to utilize all that. And I just wanted that experience. So.
Oh, another White House on the Hill one.
Oh, he's just saying hi to other people on there. So, yeah, Brian Carrick, testicle equals Rocky Mountain Racers. Exactly. That's right. Yeah, Jeanette, she's gonna eat everything after she harvests her animals. That's good. So there was one other thing. If I missed something, guys, I'm caught up now. But there was a lot of stuff I was going over that looked maybe just like comments, not questions. If I missed something, leave a question all in caps, or do @grassfed homestead or the grass, whatever it is, and it'll highlight on my screen. I can see it faster. But the other thing I wanted just to remind you guys real quick about too was the appropriate technology course and permaculture design course in Missoula this summer that Paul Wheaton is hosting. And the instructors are really good instructors. Some of them I've met personally, and some of them I've just talked to him, like Alan Booker is doing the PDC. I've only talked to him on the phone, but really, really switched on guys. Uncle Mud is doing the appropriate technology course, McClellan.
Have you talked to Tim Balkley?
I haven't talked to Tim. I've seen a lot of his video though, because I'm editing a lot of it right now. But so yeah, so I'm actually doing a lot of editing of appropriate technology course from last year, and there are a lot of cool projects in there. I think if you have like zero skills, it's probably, you know, the video from it, you're probably not gonna get a whole lot of value from. But if you have some do-it-yourself skills, like there's a ton of value in there. But if you have zero skills and you want to get some of the skills, if you go to the class in person, that is where you'll get them, because everyone there gets time on the excavator, digging, learning how to use that. Everyone there is getting welding time. No one leaves there without welding. Everyone's learning how to weld, and you don't leave there like ready to go get a job in welding, but you can do just about any homestead project with the skills I'm seeing these people leave with in welding, and all kinds of really cool skills and projects from that. So if you guys I just wanted to throw it out there. I'm going to be a guest instructor at the permaculture design course on my day is July 3rd, I think it is. But if you go to richsoil.com, there's a thing on it, a post on it where you can get more details about it. And if you sign up for it and you do want to go, I think there are, let me say this too, there are 2 permaculture design courses. There's one, a peasant one, which is cheaper and way more hands-on, less classroom. And then there's the Homestead one, which is a little more classroom, a little less hands-on, but definitely geared towards homesteading. And that's more in line with a traditional PDC. I'm teaching at the Homestead one. But if you sign up for any of them and let them know I sent you, I do get a little bit of a kickback for it. But that's not the only reason why I'm mentioning it to you. It's one, I'm part of it as being one of the instructors, which I think is really cool and an honor. So it'll be really cool if somebody signs up because, or not just because, but hey, Dan's going to be there. So, that kicked me over the edge of going or something like that. It would send a signal to Paul, and he might invite me to do more of these things, which would be really cool. So
I like Paul waiting.
And it'll be a really good experience for you guys if you can go.
I'm sad since he's not here.
The Intermountain Northwest up there. It's really
sad
pretty.
Since he's not
okay,
here.
Buddy. You can stop saying it. Okay, so I think that's it for my announcement. If you guys have joined late and didn't hear initially, basically at the beginning I was just talking about, we've done some updates to the website. Ashley's doing some blog posts on there, which are neat. And so go check out grassfedhomestead.com if you haven't lately. It's way better than it was. We're trying to make it a little bit more of a destination and not just a place to buy your chicken from. And then also there's a place in there to sign up. You can sign up for our emails because a lot of people aren't getting notifications when we publish a YouTube video. So I'm just going to be sending out emails once in a while saying, hey, here are some of our videos of late. So if you haven't checked out the channel, you kind of get it in your inbox that way.
Daddy, you really need to charge the phone.
Yeah, I know my phone's going to die soon. But
you better take that out because that's up to 100 on the computer. Computers are charged.
Farm All Fanatic, you want to try lamb, but you don't want to raise a lamb just to find out whether you like it or not. Well, if you go to eatwild.com, go to your area, just click on your state. I don't know if you can look by zip code or not, but you might be able to put in your zip code, and it will pop up all the producers in your area that are adhering to some kind of grass-fed program, sustainable ag in some way. Not necessarily organic, but some are. But your producers that are kind of more in line with our values, like I'm assuming you have similar values if you're watching our channel. So that's what I mean by our values, like doing it the way that we're doing, not like big conventional grain feeding and that kind of glyphosate and GMOs and all that, right? So eatwild.com, look up for producers in your area, and you should be able to find somebody within an hour of you that is raising grass-fed lamb, and where you can go buy a pack of lamb chops or a leg of lamb roast or ground lamb.
Oh, I love bacon and ground beef and pork chops.
Yeah. So you can try that. That's, again, eatwild.com. Also, another source is localharvest.com. They have a directory of producers also. EB says, I love watching your videos. I call you the Martha Stewart of homesteading.
The Martha Stewart?
I'm guessing that's a compliment. I hope it doesn't mean like I seem like an old lady, but I'll take it as a compliment. All right, so it looks like a lot of people are signing out, so we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I got my announcements out. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I know it's late out there on the East Coast, but it's really cool to interact with you guys. We don't do a whole lot of these because generally we have internet issues, but once in a while it works out all right for us. So anyway,
good night.
Yeah, I encourage you guys again, check out grassfedhomestead.com, and we look forward to seeing you on some upcoming videos. All right, guys, good night.
Good night.